I have a question for everyone here tonight. How will you live the resurrection over the next 50 days? How will you live the joy of the risen Jesus in your life? Tonight, we actually begin the most challenging season of the church's year. That's right, we begin the most challenging season tonight. You might have thought that we were ending the most challenging season because the season that just ended, the season of Lent, was one in which we had to abstain from meat on Fridays, to fast on Ash Wednesday and Good Friday. And likely, you took on some extra penitential practice as well. The reality, though, is that Easter is often the most challenging of seasons precisely because it calls us to live in joy, the joy born of our faith in Christ and in His resurrection. Notice that I did not say that Lent is the most difficult season. In fact, I did not say that Easter is the most difficult season. Lent, in fact, may well get that distinction, at least if we define difficulty by the amount of penance to be done. But Easter really becomes the most challenging if we are to truly live the fullness of the Easter joy over these next 50 days. Imagine what Mary Magdalene, Joanna, and Mary, the mother of James, must have felt like when they approached the tomb. Imagine their surprise, the overwhelming joy that must have been theirs when they found the tomb empty and were told that Jesus had risen again. That joy, that feeling of happiness and satisfaction that Jesus is with us, that is what we must capture and make real in our lives, not just tonight and tomorrow, not just this week, but throughout these next 50 days. How will you make the Easter joy real in your life? Will you approach Mass and other prayer time joyfully as an opportunity to be with God, whom we love above all else? Will you look at family members and coworkers and friends as people with whom you can share that Easter joy, people for whom you can be Christ in their lives? Will you continue to use the greeting, Happy Easter, not just for a day or two, but all the way till Pentecost Sunday? However you make that Easter joy real in your life and in the lives of those around you, it's important that we remember St. Paul's words about living the newness of life thanks to the resurrection of Jesus. We have a new life thanks to Jesus rising from the dead. We are dead to sin, no longer in slavery to sin, all thanks to the resurrection of Jesus. Tonight, one of the great Easter joys for us here is that 18 people will be baptized, and another 18 people who are already baptized will enter full communion with the Catholic Church. Those being baptized will die to sin. They will die with Jesus, as St. Paul tells us, in order to rise with him also. We join them in their great joy. We join them in their new life in baptism, as well as our new life in the resurrection of Jesus Christ.